This video is sponsored by Monster Legends. We'll talk about that in a second, but let me quickly intro you to this video. There are so many myths in this game that I have tried again and again to dispel, but it's not really had much luck. For some reason people hold on to these myths like they're facts, even though they haven't even tested it themselves. So I'm going to bust some myths today, so please watch this or send it to somebody who thinks that these myths aren't true. There's a lot of stuff in here that you might be surprised about if you just believe what stats you read online without doing your own research. Before we get into that, I want to thank today's sponsor. Today I have been sponsored by Monster Legends. Monster Legends is a free-to-play game on iOS and Android. You collect different monsters and you can breed them together to create your own different monsters. Once it's grown, you can kind of feed it, take care of it, and then it unlocks different abilities and you can fight with it in battle. You can fight against your friends and you can fight online with other random people. There are different PvP modes and you can fight in dungeons. It's kind of like a Pokemon type game where you upgrade your monsters and make them stronger. In total there's over 600 different monsters, so you can find your favorite one and kind of build your own team based on their different abilities. There are also 4 different modes. There's live duels where you don't actually have to worry about owning the monsters yourself. You can just go in and fight people. You have PvP battles where you can use your own monsters and try and compete for like trophies and leaderboards. And then you can also join a team and fight in team versus team battles as well, which is pretty cool. And then of course you can just challenge your friends in friendly battles, which is pretty fun. And of course we're playing Apex Legends, so Monster Legends is very fitting. So if you want to check out this game, you can get it for free. There is a link in the description. Right, so it's myth busting time. The first thing I would say is that aiming down sights isn't increased in speed with better stocks. We can prove here, purple stock, white stock, no stock, it's still 0.1 seconds. We slowed it down to 1 second. The next myth is if you punch the ground or kick the ground as you land, it's supposed to speed you up, but this is a myth. It's fixed. It was fixed a long time ago. It no longer works, so there's no point doing this. But on the bright side, it doesn't slow you down. As we tested here, it's 5.03 seconds. The next myth is you can slide up hills, or rather people thought that you couldn't slide up hills, and if you did that you'd lose momentum, but you can still gain momentum when you slide up a slope. However, the steeper it is, the less momentum you'll get, so if you want to get a tiny bit of speed, you just have to quickly spam the crouch button 2 times. You still get a tiny bit of momentum when doing this though. The next myth is that you can't bunny hop. Well, that's completely wrong. You can still bunny hop, it hasn't been removed. And the second myth is you can't bunny hop hill. Well, as you can see here, you can bunny hop hill, and maybe it's not as good as it used to be, but it's absolutely still possible, and it's still going to be better than just crouching around. It takes some practice, you need really good timing for this, but yeah, it's absolutely possible with any legend. You don't have to play Octane, you don't have to play Revenant. Obviously, with somebody like Octane, it would be easier because you get that speed boost. Now, this is a myth that I'm personally responsible for. This animation here is not rare. All you need to do is wait for the stim to almost be finished, do the melee button, and then spam the stim button. It sounds strange, but when you do this, you will play the 2 rare animations. This one here and the one where he spins the stim on his fingers. I already talked about this in another video, but as you can see here, this footage isn't edited and we just keep doing the animation over and over again. Okay, next myth, and the most important one, you do not get slowed only by heavy bullets. All weapons slow you. We're using an Artillery 1 here and we're still getting slowed, as you can see in the footage in a second. Pay note to the velocity count in a second in the bottom right corner. That shows how fast we go. And another thing is, yes, fortified legends don't get slowed by anything, but even Octane and Bangalore get slowed for a very short moment before their speed abilities kick in and give them extra speed. So yes, every weapon type slows you, not just heavy. I've tried to prove this so many times, but hopefully they'll get out there to more people. So that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to Monster Legends for sponsoring this video. You can check out the game by clicking the link in the description. Alright everybody, I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio!